Hello, AfterBuzz TV Drag Race fans. Welcome to Season 11, Episode 8 recap, Snatch Game at Sea. We have 2 special guests this episode. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
We have music. Yay!
This is what I do on my time off. I find music for us that we can use royalty-free.
Royalty-free music.
Are they charging now? Is that what's going on?
I love you. I'm not going to jail for y'all, though, so.
I am your host, 123 Jackie B. With me this week is Kenny Harrison.
Hi.
Blast from the past.
I'm back from the dead.
Jayla.
I'm here, y'all. What's going on? It's me, Jayla Roxon. I'm back in the building.
Mark J. Freeman.
Hello, I'm filling in for the skinny, younger Ollie Dreamer.
And our special guest, Lady Red.
Lady
Yes.
From Hey Queen.
Welcome.
I was kidnapped.
That's the only way we can get guests, y'all.
How do you like the music?
I'm loving it.
I like
Kenny,
this.
I like
do you
that
approve?
music.
Sure.
Because you're going to have to listen to it when you're watching live at home.
Oh, I won't be watching. I'm just kidding. It's been a long time. I haven't seen Mark in ages. I have to throw some shade.
And I'm in the middle of it, so
There are many times
It's okay,
where I
you're
wish,
safe.
there
You're
are many
safe.
times I wish you were here to argue with me, Kenny.
So, Mark, you saw the First Wives Fight Club?
Yes, last night.
Last night.
at
Wait, what'd you call it?
First Wives Fight Club.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was just called First Wives Club.
No,
maybe-
First Wives Fight Club, and they kind of meshed the 2 movies together.
Got it.
I didn't see Fight Club. I mean, I saw it a long time ago, so I don't really. I'm sure I missed some of the references to that, but
You
it
should
was
go
really,
back and watch it. It's just Brad Pitt shirtless punching on
yeah,
people.
yeah, I should. Sounds good. No, it was fun. It was a fun show. I said I think I've always said this to you guys beforehand. I actually really thought. Brooklyn did really well. I was, in the acting challenges on the show, she hadn't done very well, so I was like, what's going to happen? But she did a great job. It was funny because Raja actually had the most trouble with her lines. They actually had some, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this, but I am. They had, she said it during the show, so it wasn't like they were trying to keep it a secret, but she had somebody off stage below in front with cue cards, so she with her lines on them. And then it kind of became a part of the show. When she would forget her line, she'd just walk to the edge of the stage and get her line, and then we'd go back. But it was a lot of fun. We actually had a really, really, really good time.
Where was this?
It's at the Montalban Theater on Vine, just south of Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
What did you guys think of the episode?
I had to make it. I had to ride it on my bike for this one. I actually liked this episode. Yeah, I thought it was. I will say I'm okay. There were some bitches that from last. Oh, are we allowed to curse?
It's Easter.
Okay. Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jesus. Anyway, I'm not really sold on all the arguing. I think it's just too much extra.
It seems staged. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I wrote the words cringeworthy. The ship has wrecked.
I think Rue foreshadowed it, saying, "Let's see how this goes. It could be just like the Titanic."
Yeah.
I think she
Yes.
kind of knew it was gonna happen.
I liked the episode, but I didn't like the Snatch Game. And I'm a huge fan of Snatch Game, so like there was a lot of bad Snatch Game happening.
I think on top of that, they tried to make it different with the whole at sea. But I didn't get at sea. I just got like life raft, nothing at sea.
And a different logo. Yeah.
And a different logo. But I get it was a sponsor move. Thank you for the trip.
Right.
But
I actually thought they were going to be on a boat.
Yeah, I wonder.
Right.
I was confused.
I wish if they were doing an at-sea Snatch Game that then you had to like force people to do like a nautical themed character. So like you had to be Gilligan or you have to be something.
Marianne.
I don't know.
That's good.
The cast of Gilligan's.
I'm too young for that. I don't
Or
even
the
know.
Love
I'm
Boat.
too young for
Well,
that.
I was going to say that. I mean, there's Love Boat and Titanic. There's
Yeah.
a lot of references you can put on a ship. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There are
And
other
of all of
boat-themed
them,
things.
Celine was probably the one most related to
To the
the show.
right.
And she was the one sinking the
Right.
worst.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Lady Red, what did you think of the episode?
Well, I'm guilty because I am one person who is not interested in anything because I know everything. So I ended up watching like just the Snatch game. I'm over them these are children, babies. I don't want to watch kids fight and argue over toys and shit and say irrelevant shit to each other. Stop trying to hurt each other's feelings and focus on the damn competition. You might actually have a show.
Yeah.
But so I just watched the Snatch game, and I was proud of those who put their best effort forward, and then good luck to the rest of them.
So who was your favorite?
It wasn't Silky Ganache.
I mean,
Hold up, girl. We gonna fight up in here.
I
You know how I feel
pull it
about
out,
her.
honey. I mean, that's wonderful. Have a good day. No, I love her personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But too much is too much, and I don't need you to try to convince me that you're a star.
Thank you.
The next time you tell me, I'm gonna tell you to shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere. So I mean, it's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? You can be who you are without stretching so much. You know what I mean? This ain't yoga, baby. You don't need to stretch every single time you walk in the room. But my favorite was personally, Charo.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I agree.
The reason I called it Charo is because when you are really in an illusion, I give you all that you need.
Yeah.
And she gave me everything I needed. So I was like, wait a minute, you did your research.
Yeah.
100%.
Wait a minute, these are jokes and this funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, your stuff ain't nappy and looking crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I said
That's
it.
when you shake the
I was gonna say,
little shade
it's like
sound.
a tree just grew up in here.
You
'cause-
just have to know, when you are giving your best, stop half-assing it. Give
Right.
your
Yeah.
best. That
Well,
means,
I think Jinx said it when she was coming through the room, when they were preparing, and she was talking about the episode with Detox, and she said it so perfectly. She's like, when you do something like that was so like trashy, and there's somebody else on the panel who's done their research and is doing an elegant job, it just makes it look worse.
And that was a little bit of shade too, because
Totally.
she was like, yeah, because
Totally.
I nailed it,
Well,
and
she
Detox.
was looking out.
I know,
Yeah.
but I find it fascinating that because I don't know how old any of you guys are, but like
22.
okay,
25.
sure,
Happily.
I'm in Ollie's chair now. I'm 22.
I find it really interesting how the younger generation views celebrities as in like Instagram famous and like Cash Me Outside girl. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
I was disappointed.
yeah, I was like, come on, like Charo was by far my favorite
Yeah.
as well. I mean, she
I
nailed
actually
it.
thought, how did nobody think of doing Charo yet? Like that, I loved that. It was somebody that was great, and I do think that
Why
people
has no one done Joan Rivers? I still
Exactly.
I'm like, how?
because you have to be
funny.
Yes. yeah.
These girls are not funny. I mean, like, okay, I giggle at you on Instagram, but that's a giggle, bitch.
Yeah.
I want to go far. I'm like, come on.
What did you guys think
goodness.
of the mini challenge? The mini challenge was
Remind me
the
again?
picture
Yeah.
on
The-
self-help
Oh,
book.
that's right.
The self-help book.
I think that speaks for itself. But you know that here's what this is the one thing, because I could kind of really care less about it. But the one thing that happened during the mini challenge that stood out the most to me was Vanjie's outfit. It was like the one thing, like she came out and then I went, where has that been this whole episode?
the yellow.
The yellow, it had a little cape, she had little chaps on. I was like,
Well, she wore that. She just turned it inside out for the runway
when?
this week.
Well, it didn't
Well-
have chaps on though. But I'm just saying,
Well-
like, it was a different look for her than she's worn the runway. So I was like, where's that? You've literally have had that in your bag this whole time, and now you're using it for the mini challenge when you need something different, a different silhouette. Save it for the runway. That was the only thing that stood out to me from the mini challenge.
Yeah, next.
Well, I want like Evie's book cover
Was
my
funny.
was my favorite. I
Yeah.
want that picture on my wall.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
cool.
It was really good.
Yeah, I
really
liked what
cool.
she did with her paint too.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really, really.
She always does stuff outside the box. That's what I love about her.
I just felt that this challenge was too similar to the one where they're like being their own doll
Yeah.
or whatever. So like I thought that for this, I'm still begging that they bring back those little dolls that when they have to make the other
puppets?
the
Yeah.
puppets
Yeah.
of the other person. I'm like, why
Oh,
didn't you do that this
yeah.
episode?
Yeah.
Every episode, I'm waiting for a puppet.
I like Brooklyn's book too.
Oh yeah.
It
I
was
liked her
it was
dress.
it was very Katya vibes, but I
Yes.
don't like comparing queens, but it was Katya.
I did.
You know what I did appreciate the fact that Nina kind of poked fun at the fact
herself.
that she was top heavy. I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to remember. I'm just trying to remember.
I'm like,
everybody.
Yeah.
it's like dead space because I can't think of anything
Baby,
else.
when I tell you y'all are grasping at straws, stupid shit.
It really was just like the other challenge
Yeah.
they did where there were Barbies. So I was like,
Yeah, the producers need to do some goddamn work. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not to be like that, but let's get it together. Like, let's actually produce something. Let's change. Let's make sure that they're uncomfortable in these challenges so we can see their vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
because
we
they used to
need.
get splattered with paint
They-
on a turntable and
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
not
where's
now.
that?
that was
Yeah.
fun.
Not
That
now.
was fun.
Remember when they threw bitches in a Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Go, bitch. And then at
On
the
the
end, it was
first
like,
day.
yeah, they was like, we can't
And the
put people in
trampoline. Remember the trampoline with the
Yeah,
snow?
they used to really have to do stuff. Now they just stand there and argue.
Yeah.
They used to have to do the one where they dug through dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
like,
that.
Now it's like Love and Hip Hop RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
I mean-
Bitch, what? Bitch, bitch, bitch. Okay,
Yeah.
bitch. Oh, I love you, bitch. Okay, bitch.
Yeah.
It was. I totally agree with you. I thought it was just like. Again, I liked the episode, but I'm just like the contrived like storylines are just like.
Yeah.
The problem I had, if we want to like move into like the workroom and the behind the stage stuff,
Sure.
like the problem I have is like I feel very uncomfortable when everyone's fighting with each other and it seems staged.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even seem like, because you have in this episode, it starts off with like that weird fight from last week where Vanjie was like yelling at Evie, and then she goes around to her and apologizes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first off, that fight started from nowhere to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I was very confused because she seemed okay with her critique, and then all of a sudden in Untucked, she's like fighting with her, and the fight, spills into this episode, and then she goes by and she's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, and they're all cool, and I'm like, that whole sequence read as completely staged to me, which is, it's like offensive to your audience because you're here to see the queens you love acting real and like interacting with each other.
But you have to understand that the fans of Drag Race now are 12 and
They're
13
younger.
and 14, so they don't
Thank you,
care about
Jayla.
that stuff. They care about what looks good aesthetically. They're fighting, oh, this is good. This is their flavor of love. When I was watching Flavor of Love, I had no business watching that. Those girls and they're fighting in the house. So that was me watching it at 13, 14 years old. So this is their flavor of love, and they like stuff like that. So they're not analyzing dick soup. We are here at the AfterBuzz.
We still use that term.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still here. They told me what that was.
We,
and I
we
got
say
a
dick
canteen
soup
full of it.
when it's been produced. They put their dick in the
They
soup.
put their
that
dick in
they
the soup.
messing
They
with the
stir it
story.
in.
Could you imagine?
Wait a
how-
minute, what kind of shit is I ain't
That's
never
him.
put my dick
That's
in
them.
no
They
soup.
started it. They
I
started it.
never put my dick in no soup.
I was just thinking how much that would hurt. Depending on what kind of soup it is.
Right.
The other thing I was, if we're still on the workroom stuff, when Rue was coming around, for the future, season 12, season 13, 14, whoever ends up auditioning, when Rue comes to your table and says to you, in your video, you did this. She's not asking you because she's trying to remember. She's trying to tell you need to do
do it.
that character.
Right.
For the record.
Right.
That's
Or-
what that is.
Or if Rue's coming by talking to you and not laughing and
Yes.
saying, like, making the that's a choice face,
Yeah.
if you don't change your character, you are going to lose.
Right. I did appreciate, I think it was Nina, who she came prepared with two characters.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I will say, can I just, about the challenge? When she
go
does it, I kind of wanted her to stick to one.
That's what everybody in the chat room was saying. That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
I liked them both,
I
but I
didn't
didn't
notice
think
she
she needed to do
changed,
both.
honestly. And then I was like, oh, she brought the second character after she had already done it and it was over. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought Harvey was good, but I think Joanne Worley. I'm old school, so I
Yeah.
know exactly who Joanne Worley is.
Yeah.
So
See, I
and
preferred Harvey. I thought the Harvey Weinstein or Harvey Firestein.
Weinstein.
Harvey Firestein.
Well, me being a millennial here and the youngest person on the cast, I had to Google those
bitch,
people.
let me see some ID. I don't believe you.
I had to
go watch Hairspray. It's good.
Okay.
It's
But
good.
I
Watch
had
that.
but
Watch
that
the
being
old
but-
version.
Watch
The
the
old
old
version,
version,
okay.
not
not
John
the-
Travolta.
But that being said, I didn't know who T.S. Madison was. I didn't know who Plastique was. I didn't know who Vanjie was. I mean, I knew who Akira was. I know of her, but I didn't know her well enough to know whether she was doing it well or not. So, I mean, there's something for both generations. You know what I mean? Like, again, if you're gonna do it, it just has to be funny. I don't need to know because like even though I didn't really know who T.S. Madison was, after a little while I was like, okay, it's Silky, first of all. Number two, she has a thing with big dicks. She got something with long hair. You know what I mean? Like I got that, and that's fine. So, and I'm okay with that. But I didn't need to know who she was. But I mean, I know she's got a booth at.
But
Icon.
if you look at, if you go and watch like T.S. Madison's videos, I didn't see the correlation. Like I thought I was like, no.
Do you watch T.S. Madison, Jayla?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Okay.
I got the character. And I was
but
like, okay.
like what Mark, what they said is it's this. She was just being Silky. It wasn't anything different.
I know T.S. Madison personally. Me and Maddie, we both have the same management company, all of that. And that's my friend and things. You know, Silky had a great time, and that's what we expected of Silky. But like to win, I'm like,
no.
Yeah.
Not for the win.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly read down who everyone was, so the audience knows. So, Sugar Cane was Charo. Akira was Tiffany Haddish. Brooklyn was Celine Dion. Silky was T.S. Madison. Evie was a very terrible Whoopi Goldberg. Nina was Joanne Worley and Harvey Fierstein. Vanjie was the Cash Me Outside girl, Danielle Bregoli.
I don't know.
And Plastique was Lovely Mimi, a.k.a. the same character she played in the Wakanda scene.
Yeah.
Which is what, like, that bugs me about that, too, because it's like, they didn't get mad at her for playing the same character, even though in the workroom they told her that sounds like the same character, you know? And it's like, you're telling other queens they have to push themselves, and you're not telling the other queen
that goes to I guess we'll get to the runway.
Let's get to the runway.
The inconsistency in the judging. But to piggyback off what you said, or in general, Whoopi Goldberg was a gold mine. There's so much.
Right.
That should have been out of the park.
Yeah.
Like
It was more like shading.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Like, but
go ahead.
No, you go.
No, go ahead. You're new.
Oh my God.
You're back.
Oh.
Go back and watch the old shows. Me and this one.
I get to talk every week. You go.
No, but I was just saying, like, that is, those Charo, again, those are gold mines. I mean, there's so much you could do. And this whole excuse is, I don't do impersonations. That is your job at this point.
Who said that?
Well, they all say that.
Silky. Not Silky.
Evie.
And
Evie said that?
Both of them said, I'm not really good at doing impersonations.
Evie impersonated a motherfucking squid the first week. Shut the fuck up. You painted your balls, bitch. How dare you tell me you don't impersonate nobody or nothing?
The thing that, like... We all know Brooklyn did a terrible job, but when Rue came by in the workroom, it was like, do your Canadian accent.
Oh.
Celine Dion, to me, does not actually have, like, a real
She does
accent.
that. She has a rich accent,
Yeah.
not Canadian.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just like the kind of thing Madonna does, where it's like, I try to put on some sort of like fake, like, I'm hoity-toity accent, but and yeah, come for me. I'm not here for singing.
I didn't.
But she doesn't have a Canadian accent, and it was just so weird because I'm like, first off, you're a Canadian person and you already have a Canadian accent, and then you're putting on this weird Fargo accent that I guess like maybe happens
I got Miss
in
Cleo.
Canada. Yeah,
She
I
sounded
got
like Miss
Jamaican too.
Cleo.
I was like, wait.
It was very calling me now, you know. So I don't know.
I was like, I don't know. You could have just done a normal hoity-toity voice and been sort of okay and slid under the radar.
I mean, y'all gotta realize ain't nothing normal about Brooklyn. Nothing. Everything is either spectacular or horrible.
Yeah.
There's no in between. She even said it herself.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do everything perfect. Well, bitch, you can't.
Yeah.
It's called being human, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think you can call them dumb bitches on this show.
I
but-
can. Hey, Queen.
I was going to say, well, and Jinx even says also, I thought what a lot of this, people should have listened to what Jinx said too, because I think Jinx said a lot of very intelligent things
She
that
did.
if they would have listened, it would have helped. And I think when she was talking to Brooklyn and she said, you know, I don't do Betty Davis. I just do this. And that's the thing is, it doesn't have to be exactly, just exaggerate. And that's the thing is, like, you have to, when you're doing it, you have to think, you really have to think it's funny. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I felt like she was going into it already knowing she wasn't going to do bad. And it's like, you just have to embrace that you're not going to get it exactly. Find something that you think is funny and ride the wave and just see where it takes you. Well, it's not going to be any worse than it was. You know what I mean? Like, Just do it.
Who's the guy who does Chloe Sevigny? Like, that impersonation is
Oh,
not...
Drew Drogi.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not...
I love Drew.
It's not actually... It doesn't sound
No,
like Chloe
not at all.
Sevigny. It's not anything like Chloe Sevigny, but
hysterical.
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hysterical. Google it. He's on YouTube. Drew Drogi,
Well, it's all
Chloe
Drew.
Sevigny.
It's all Drew.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like if you did an impersonation like that, where it's like you're just saying you're Chloe Sevigny and being kind of ridiculous, you'll still make people laugh, and you will still get.
And I
fun.
guarantee you, when they're on the runway, what's going to be said is, "You did not sound like a girl, but that shit was funny." That's all they're going to say.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to say.
Just
So-
like, I mean, like Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
Looked just like her.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's another one you could have gotten away with some other things. You
Yeah.
know what I
But then
mean?
we also saw that in All Stars when Monique did Tiffany Haddish, and we're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Like, just because she has funny lines in a movie doesn't make her funny.
Exactly.
You know what
And
I'm
Tiffany
saying?
Haddish is Tiffany Haddish. She's not, okay, this might sound like shade, but she's not an actor.
Right.
No, she's not. She's a comedian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what
she,
people should realize.
Yeah.
so she's,
She got to make herself laugh before she can make you fucking laugh.
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's what nobody did. They didn't giggle to themselves. The only person that was giggling, it was two people that was giggling on that panel, okay? And that was, of course, Silky,
Yeah.
because she made herself laugh.
Right.
When she got up and put out that nappy wig,
Yeah.
y'all all knew she was kikiing, okay?
Yeah.
That was funny as fuck. And then, of course, you know, Miss Charo, Coochie, come
Sugar.
on. Sugar did everything she needed to
Everything.
do.
Yeah.
She enjoyed herself. That's what I'm saying. You could tell
Yep.
who's making themselves laugh, and you could tell who's pissing everybody off.
Yeah.
You know, another thing I was going to say about Evie's Whoopi, I also think when you come into it, like she was playing like she was mad at herself.
Pissing everybody
And it was just
off.
not like like Whoopi's not going to go, whether she thinks she should be in the movies or not, she's not going to go on a game show and say, I haven't worked in it all these years. She's going to talk about how fabulous she is. So she went into it with a wrong attitude of presenting thing. I will say.
And Whoopi's been in a lot of like very character-driven movies.
Yeah.
So like Michelle had a good point when she was like, "Why didn't
Sister
you come in
Act.
here with like a habit on, or
Yeah.
why didn't you come here with like a pot of clay pretending to be like a ghost or something?"
I did laugh when she said her feet were still dirty from the color purple because that was.
Oh no!
I didn't
That
find
shit
that
was
funny.
that
Okay.
was offensive.
It's
I
very-
did not.
I didn't find
I
it
was
funny.
not
I
living for
understand.
that.
I totally understand. She black and everything. But that, that kind of is a sensitivity point.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I
I didn't find it
Because we
funny.
do live in this mixed culture now. Let's
Right.
be honest. And, black people still got a lot of things going on. And when you put your feet up and be like, yeah, my fuck color. Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
You didn't wash your feet when you got in here? Or you trying to make my black sister look bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how
Let's
I felt
talk
about it.
Yeah.
And she's an EGOT, so you put some respect on her.
Please put some.
Well, yes, agreed. And if you're going to do The Color Purple, there's so many other references in that movie. I love. First of all, I love that movie.
Yeah.
There's so many other references she could have went with.
Girl, she
And-
didn't have to do The Color Purple. She could have went to Karina.
Yeah.
That was
True.
a star movie, bitch.
Yeah.
What bitch you know
True.
that's gonna style her hair every day, live in the hood? Come on, somebody.
I also think, now that I'm listening to you guys, it's like you also kind of have to love the character that you're doing.
Yes.
You do.
If
You do.
if you're just like marginally interested in them, it's not gonna come off as good. Like, you're right, Silky, part of the reason she was having a great time was because she was amusing herself.
Yeah.
She was having a good time.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
And so it's like if you really like this character and they really make you laugh, it's like you would think you would be drawn to doing that character.
Now, who would you be for Snatch Game?
Oh, Joan Rivers. I love,
Down.
not that I'm that funny, but it's like I am obsessed with Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's like I know enough about her. She's hilarious. Like, she's a character that you could come up with a whole bunch of stuff
Would
with.
you have cards on the floor where you have to get up and look at the joke and then
Right.
sit back down?
And you're like, bring me the joke.
Yeah.
You know? And she had kind of like a funny way of talking too that you can exaggerate, and so that's the person I always go to because I'm like obsessed with her. So
Well, Charlie Hides would have done it had she made it that far. When I did the panel at DragCon with her on it, she actually did some of her Joan Rivers, and it was
Time out.
absolutely hysterical.
Charlie Highs, I can't remember who
Charlie
that
Highs
she
is.
was the British one who never did the lip
Better
sync.
knock it off.
Okay, now I remember.
Charlie
It's
Hides came on Hey Queen and said she was the greatest Madonna, the greatest Cher.
too many. I mean,
I actually really like Charlie.
No, I now that I
love Charlie,
remember,
but she's a liar.
Okay, continue.
All
Sorry.
right, guys, let's go to the runway.
Okay.
Bring it to the runway.
Bring it to the runway. So Please tell me what your like top favorite outfits were on the runway this week.
Charo.
A Charo? That was not on the runway.
Sick. That shit was sick.
Sugar.
Oh, can I make my comment about Michelle Visage? Visage?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
We interviewed her and he said her name wrong to her face.
Vicious.
I did. Did I say vicious?
On purpose?
Yes, you did. You said Michelle Vicious.
Oh, well, sorry, not sorry. No, okay, so remember back in, I think it was season 6 when she kept giving Ben De La Creme shit for having the same silhouette, but then Bianca would basically saying that wear the same dress in a different color. It's the same thing. Plastic always wears the same. What's her name?
We're gonna get you some diction lessons.
This is the problem. The problem is like since I stopped doing the show, I don't learn their names anymore.
Oh,
so
poor baby.
Plastic.
Plastique.
That one. She basically wears the same thing, but yet they're ripping on Vanjie, and I'm not the biggest Vanjie fan, but if you're gonna rip on one person, rip on them all consistently. That's
agree.
all I ask.
I
They
agree.
can't, but the show would be over because they all wear bodysuits and bathing suits. There's
then
no real
rip on.
fashion.
Then rip
And
on
then
them.
when you do like big fashion, they'd be like, I love the dress, but you didn't win.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you'll be
You
safe.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
Look at Sugar.
I did say that
Yes,
last
agreed.
week because I did go on a Vanjie riff, and then I did say if I'm gonna get her shit, I have to give Silky shit because
There
her outfits that she made both looked with the cape and a pencil skirt, and then every runway she's in a gown. So and Plastique, I said even though she did a different silhouette this time. This is the first time she's really done a different silhouette. She's always
When?
been in a gown.
When?
Plastique, she did the pants. She had pants and a.
That
and
wasn't no
little thing.
different silhouette. That was just pants on top of a corset.
Yeah, I know, but it was,
I
it was a
did,
little
but she was in my
different.
top.
It was
this
somewhat
week.
different.
Plastique was in my top.
I wasn't saying it was fantastic.
Yeah,
by
I
any
mean, we've
means.
seen it from Brooklyn earlier.
Right.
Damn, so I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
No,
I like
agree.
fashion, honey.
My
Yeah.
top 3 were Nina, Evie, and
Wait,
Sugar.
Nina?
Yeah.
On the runway?
Yes. I
That
love
was
me
the
some
Ohio.
camp.
That was the Ohio flag, by the way. If you guys did not know that, that is the Ohio flag. Represent, go Bucks.
I just didn't like the walk. There was something in the walk.
She
It was
always
very,
does
like,
that.
Like plank foot.
She always does that.
She walks like Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
Like she has tap shoes on and she's like,
just planking down the runway. And I was
Who's
like, is
Shirley
that what she's
Temple?
supposed to be? Like Captain Crunch?
She's
Watch
like
watch the
girl.
old runways because she
Old
does it
gown
all the
and
time.
I think
Okay.
dead.
Yeah.
I didn't like Nina's outfit.
Yeah, she's an honorable mention for me today.
Yeah.
I did like Rue's outfit.
Oh.
Yes.
We've seen it before in the 90s, but it's good to like, you can squeeze back in that dress and
Yeah.
shine it up, you know.
I didn't care for it.
I like how
love when
Rue's
she
like,
shows
I
leg.
worked out a little bit extra and now you're going to see my
Yeah.
body, yaddy, yaddy.
But
Yeah.
I think RuPaul has a really great trainer to where he's not like overly toned, so he kind of like balances out his.
She's very feminine. In
Yeah,
the sense.
but he works out, so it's like,
Right.
you know, how can you not look like The Rock in a dress?
Yeah, I agree. I just didn't care. I mean,
Well, we can't forget about Brooke's look.
That
Okay.
should have saved her from the bottom, and
Why?
the only reason because I thought out of all the outfits, like that to me, like that, like she was working so hard to like do that whole like that reveal. I really thought was sickening.
I've seen it.
Well, I liked it.
I liked it because
I
mean,
it was
it makes
wow
sense.
factor,
It makes
but it
sense.
wasn't like winter worthy.
But I feel like no, not winter worthy. But I'm saying it's like she put so much effort into that runway, knowing that she was in the bottom.
Yeah.
That I feel like it should have saved her from the bottom and had someone like Vanjie, who obviously wore the like. And I love Vanjie. I'm telling you this from a person who loves Vanjie. Vanjie wore the same silhouette. Was horrible on Snatch Game.
Right.
And she didn't lip sync because they just wanted to see Brooklyn lip sync against Evie, and it was a great lip sync, but it's just like stuff like that really makes me angry because you're like, the critiques you have start to have no meaning if you're just going to orchestrate it
Right.
the way you want to orchestrate
Now,
it.
what I think was going to happen was this was the breakup for Brangie or whatever it's called. Because I really want them to lip sync against each other.
Is that
to
a real
end,
thing?
To end that
Supposedly.
relationship
Yeah.
storyline, just to end the relationship storyline because it's climatic episode. But
I actually thought
Okay.
that was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that too. But who
so I
cares?
agree with you.
I think that I don't think Brooklyn's look was fantastic at all. It was very basic.
Very
I think the
basic.
only thing about that runway was that it was choreographed
did that.
and she moved around because I was actually waiting for them to go. I liked the stunts, but ultimately,
Swimsuit.
what's this? You know what I mean? Because I wasn't impressed with it. It was a cape. I get it. It was great. It was fun. We all enjoyed it. We all went, oh, cool. Little kids are doing it at home. Fantastic. But
This is when I sign off.
No son of mine is gonna do it. No, I'm just kidding.
but I thought her look was very basic, so I think that's why. I think had she revealed and it was something amazing underneath, it might have saved her. But I thought, yeah.
Well, the reveal was
It was like Pam Grier meets Melina Mortal Kombat.
Okay, that wasn't the challenge. But.
Was it though? Was it though?
No.
Or was it just a stripper basic bathing suit?
Well, they said Nomi Malone.
They
They
did.
you can
Is
say
that a good thing?
anything. You can say Silky look like Jabba the Hutt. It don't make her look like that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got references of everything. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
come on. It is what it is.
Yeah.
She should have
Peed a
leveled
little bit.
up. They just said, come on, give us some fashion. Didn't they just say that last challenge? They reading everybody's being read about the silhouette. You know why? Because everybody doing the same shit.
Yeah.
But
It's only
also-
a couple that's really changing it up.
Yeah.
And if you and my thoughts on that is if you know what works for you, keep on doing it. I mean, don't.
Right.
What's that saying?
Oh, yes,
I
yes
don't
and
say
no.
that.
If it ain't broken,
yeah.
I
don't
don't
fix
say
it.
that.
Yes and no. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you're in the real world and you're performing and you have an aesthetic and you want to do that all the time, but when you know that you're going on a show and the competition is to show different sides of you, then you need to bring different things. And if I was doing a show and they say, oh, Lorraine, I like, this, I do a lot of like mod, like 50s, housewife thing. And they say, I like it, but it's not really going to fit the event. Can you do this? Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. So you wouldn't say no, that's just what I do. I just wear bathing suits. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't
Right.
get booked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if you're going on the show, and this is what we say all the time, you're going on the show
Yeah.
to compete. Compete.
Yeah.
And this is the thing I said at work, and I'm going on another rant right now.
Oh.
Yes, another episode of Mark's
Okay.
Rant.
Listen to me.
She's angry.
Because
Wait, let me get out of frame.
Silky.
Come over here, baby. It's okay. You can come closer.
I'm a little scared. This is my
Silky-
first time sitting next to him.
Silky, Akira, and Vanjie are supposed to be the dream girls, correct? And Akira and Silky both know how to sew, correct? Silky and Akira want to keep Vanjie around, correct? Well, then ask your little friends to make you something with a different silhouette so you can stay another week. Done.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
But Silky stuff never fit.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ever.
But you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're
They
saying.
say all the time, oh, I borrowed someone's wig and this and that, da da da. Well, then if you guys are really wanting her and wanting her to do, and I don't know, maybe the producers are saying, Vanjie, wear another bathing suit. We need to milk this. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. But that's just, you got two people that are working with you. Have them make you up some pants.
Yeah, well, they also do this. A lot of people are like thinking that that they get the challenges on the spot. They really don't. They get a list of shit to bring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you make these decisions at home. That's why I don't feel sorry for bitches.
No.
When they get on the runway and they be like, this is the same silhouette. And they be like, well, I didn't know how to change it. Well, bitch, stop wearing that shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Go look in your bag and do something else. I get so tired of everybody bringing their house. Stop bringing your house. Bring what you need and then bring some fabric.
Yeah.
And learn how to sew bitches.
Yes.
Well, that's what we've been saying for years
Yeah.
now. Like, even go take an improv class.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
know?
If you can glue, you can sew.
Yeah.
I can glue.
I mean, don't forget, Ben de la Creme made a winning look on the
Didn't
runway
she?
Out
with
of
a glue
glue
gun.
gun.
Didn't she? And
So
had no
it's
shame.
not impossible.
Yeah.
So that lip sync, what did you guys think of it? I loved it.
It was sickening.
I loved it.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
like
great.
one of my top all-time lip syncs.
I showed it
Agree.
to my coworker who does not watch the show. I said, I know you don't watch the show, but you have to watch this. It's kind of cool. And she was watching it and loving it. And then when it ended, she went, you said somebody has to go home? And I said, yeah, somebody has to go home. She said, but I don't want it. I want them both to stay. And then it played the part where Ruth said they both said, she went, oh, they both get to stay. Oh, good. So I thought it was really cute. Margaret was so cute.
So we're running low on time,
Okay.
and I actually want to get in an interview with Lady Red.
Oh.
Yes, we putting you on the spot.
Okay.
So I want to know, who is your favorite person, because you do Hey Queen, so who is your favorite person to interview, or favorite people that you've interviewed?
You know, it's like asking me who's my favorite child. Like,
Yeah.
I love them all. You
Most
know what I mean?
memorable. Who's been the most memorable?
Milk.
Yeah.
Milk. She
Okay.
hasn't. Everybody's like, oh my God, she hasn't been on Hey Queen, but we just filmed something with
Oh,
Milk,
good.
and I'm in love with her.
Yeah.
She's a strange kid. She's one of those kids like you just don't leave in the bathroom by herself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because if they're quiet.
Oh, baby. You will walk in there and go, nothing. And then she walk out as like a dream girl. You're like, what the fuck? Where's all the tissue on your ass? You know what I mean? She's so creative. Wonderful person. One of my other favorites would have to be T.S. Madison.
Oh, nice.
She came, and it was so funny because she came like as a drag queen. She wore a wig, and so I was looking at her like, girl, what are you doing? And then like, when we got finished and we hung out, she was just such a crazy person. Like, she was like, I'm ready to take a nap. And I was like, okay. And then like Gio was like, wait, no, she's really going to take a nap. And I was like, okay, well, she can take a nap. He was like making a production out of it. She was like, oh, no, because I like it to be quiet. I said, girl, I don't give a shit. Hell. But it's all about enjoying people. I always enjoy people who enjoy other people.
Yeah.
So it's always the best for me. I mean, there is a reason why Hey Queen is popular. It's because they don't have me say a lot.
And now that Netflix has picked it up, so will we hear more from you? Or
Yes. Well, Netflix has picked us up, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
They say it's their first season, but it's like our 5th season on Netflix. So I'm like, everybody's like, oh, you look so different. I was like, yeah, I was younger, bitch. You know what I mean? So that's good. I'm also starting my own little things. Like I have Patreon, which I'm starting. It's called a So Real podcast.
Oh, nice.
And you just get to hear me and Johnny McGovern interview me and talk shit about everybody.
Nice.
And say what I need to say. And, you know, just give good advice to people who like to have sex a lot.
Now, will you talk shit about us?
No, not yet.
Please do.
Not yet.
So all the stuff you don't say on Hey Queen on Netflix, you get to say on your podcast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And for real, let me just say this. I'm a ball of love. I'm all about joy, love, spreading happiness. But if you ask me, I'm going to tell you the fucking truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's usually like a positive spin, but you know, I'm going to slice that ass too.
So you would agree with like the whole thing where Evie's trying to do the tough love where she's like, they said don't wear this.
I think
Why are you wearing that?
I think
you
it's
know?
a form of therapy for her, but she needs to, like, you know, pull it back a little bit. You know, these girls are insecure. Okay? You can't come in there like that, guns are blazing, especially when you have not given your all. I love her dearly, but she ain't giving her all. She ain't giving her all. I think Evie would be sickening if she gave her all. But she's giving me what she's giving me. I want your all.
Do you have a favorite season of Drag Race?
Yeah, but season 3.
Oh,
Season
that's
3.
way back.
Season 3.
That was the orange season. Everybody was orange in that
Yes,
season. Yeah.
everybody. Well, because season 3 was like full of stars, and then people who just like committed to their roles. You know, they had a good time. Of course, we know it was set up that Raja was going to win, so everybody was like upset at her during the whole. Oh, it was great. It was just great. So there's so much controversy. I like stuff like that, like real shit that matters, not just oh my god, look at her this week. Fuck you this week. Where you know what I mean? What are you doing with your life? What effectiveness are you? Or what changes are you saying? That's what affects me. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to hear you arguing and fuss. Like I get it. The kids are into this love and hip hop thing. I get it. But if we keep rewarding bad behavior, we'll never know who's talented.
That's true.
Yeah.
What do you think of like in Untucked? They did it this week where they bring in the 2 videos and like the queens get to like see like Akira saw her grandma and then Evie saw her mom. Like, do you think because like that used to, like right now that in this episode I feel like it elicited real reactions from them, but then unfortunately you have some of the queens being like getting upset that this person got a video and they didn't, you know, and then it like something that could have been a beautiful moment then turns into something dramatic.
Well, we also have to remember this is a TV show. Bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, they do that shit to piss these bitches off. I loved when Raja said to Plastique, I needed this more than you needed this. Because that's a real moment. But I also laugh too when you're about to be sent off and you're like reading everybody and stuff. I'm like, you gotta remember, bitch, you're gonna see these bitches in a few weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Calm down. Pull it back. That's why I didn't like when Silky was like, just go ahead and send me the lip sync. I'm like, girl, your lip sync is wonderful. You are a gorgeous person, but you irritate the shit out of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't show everything. Just like, I have a wonderful penis, but ain't nobody need to see it every 2 minutes.
I think that is a great quote to
I'm putting that.
on.
This is
Quote of
our
the week.
Easter quote.
Quote of the week.
That is our quote of the week. Definitely.
I peed myself.
Thank you,
alone.
Lady Red, so much
Thank
for
you for
joining
coming.
us.
Yes.
It was a
And we will
pleasure.
definitely
loved
be
having
watching.
you.
Whether it was voluntary or not, we appreciate
You know, well, when they kidnap me on my day off, I don't wear nails or nothing. You
But
know?
we will be watching you on Hey Queen on
Yes.
Netflix.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And can you let the people know what your Twitter, Instagram handle is?
Oh shit.
Isn't it Madame
Twitter,
Couture?
Mother Couture.
Yes, my Twitter is Mother Couture. My Instagram is Mother Couture. My OnlyFans is Mother Couture. Yes, I do have an OnlyFans.
Oh my God! Somebody asked that in the comments.
Yes.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
Titty talk. Yes, baby. Get into it.
Oh, they're kicking us off.
Yeah, they are. They're putting us out. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.